Welcome back everyone to Bretopia, where I am in the County Cora, which is my farming community. That's right, I decided that this will be my a farming area, which is nice and appropriate for your original spawn location. Now this little monument here is the where I originally spawned, and I was thinking of some sort of monument to put here, a tower or something like I often do. But I'm going to hold off that for the moment. And the reason for that is that I'm going to wait until I have a compass and get the official spawn point, since you spawn near the official spawn point, not necessarily on top of it. So I'm going to look for the official point, and that's where I'm going to make my monument. But for now, I've got this here, and if I move whatever, we'll decide. And then I'm going to build a tower. Now the tower I'm going to build is going to be a silo because that will fit in with a farming area. Other types of towers would just be, well, silly. But while between episodes, I built this little, well, it's not quite a starter house. It's a little bit less. It's more of a shelter area, but I have some basic storage, some slight decoration into it, but not much. I'm going to think that this is going to be the Brenning's gardener's home. That's where the gardener will live, right down there. And this will be the Brenning's private garden here. So nice and close to the gardener. And I could build the home. I'm going to clear out some of this area and find a nice flat area where I could build a sizable house. Now it's a bit on a hill, so but rather than flattening out the hill, maybe I'll use that as a little bit of extra challenge on how I could do it. So forcing me to make the house less boring than it would be otherwise. I also did quite a bit of exploration around the surrounding territories, including I found some pumpkins while I was doing my exploration. So therefore now I have some pumpkins, and I am now getting quite a bit of that. And of course the chickens are already getting overpopulated, which is, I know, no huge shock if anyone's seen any of my recent series on Minecraft. And I also found a village, and the village has some potatoes, so I'm growing some potatoes here. And of course the usual wheat area, which I'm maybe used to get maybe some cattle and some sheep. Well, maybe some sheep at least. Cattle, that's way far away, and so are pigs. And while I normally do not worry too much about pigs, in the village that I found, I noticed that there's a trader there who accepts chickens and pigs for emeralds. So I may at some point get a pig farm. So I might instead put a second establishment, create another village there that handles the pigs and the cattle. That way I don't have to worry about trying to bring them all the way here. And I figured I'd use that in order to get some things from the village. And it's a decent village, at least compared to the ones. Usually I find villages that have only 2 people in them, so therefore any village with 4 or 5 people in it to me is a huge village, even though some people may consider it to be a small one. Now this thing here, this is a hole in the ground I found at the beginning of it. I decided to neaten it up a little bit, and this is going to be a storage shelter. I figured that after harvesting, but before taking it to market, they could take it here in order to cool it off. This also could work as a storm shelter. Now this area here is probably going to be hidden. I'm going to try to find some way of hiding this, because this is just utilitarian stuff to where my initial mining is. I've dug down to diamond level, but I haven't actually explored it enough to actually find any diamonds, and that this just looks so out of place that I'm going to put that there. So what I'm going to do is do a storage area. So I'm going to have some storage here. I'm going to have a wing here. So I'm going to turn this effectively into a warehouse. And I thought that a regular warehouse wouldn't quite fit in this place, but maybe this little storm shelter type thing will. This is 6. I might widen that. I'll have to think about what I want to do because this being 3 wide up here and 5 wide down here, I'll either narrow this or widen that. I'll have to decide which is going to look better. Now I am going to need some way of making that, as I said, one of the things it's going to act as is a storm shelter. So I thought that maybe if you're a storm shelter, you'll need some sort of door to close. Since we don't have any horizontal doors in this game, I figure that what I could do is use some of these trapdoors. So that way, if they're using it for a storm, they could just close this, or if they have anything valuable down here, they may want to lock it. You got the idea. So we just have this to close down here. And I'm thinking of putting some sort of drain down here, but well, for now, what I could do is put a drain right here. The idea there, if any rain does get down here, we can put a drain here. Now let me see if I do this right. Yeah, so I can figure this could be thought of as a drain where the water flows down into if it comes down here in case of it's raining. Just in case anything gets through here, or if it starts raining and they haven't closed the shutters or anything like that. So that's the plan on that department. It looks like I was short a little bit on my trapdoors and getting that right. So we'll put this over here. Well, unfortunately, of course, how the game mechanics actually works, well, it's not actually going to be able to go all the way across there, but the idea is to give the impression that it could do it if necessary. Alright, good, I got the others all right. Okay, so that is going to be our little, as I said, storm shelter. It's also going to be storage area. Now, I don't know how deep to do it. I figured we could go a little bit deep here, have a couple of wings here. And meanwhile, I'll also be getting myself plenty of cobble, as well as plenty of coal. At least I can now start to get a decent amount of coal, because I was lacking that a bit. But I think after this exercise is done, that won't be a problem anymore. Now, iron still is, but hopefully I'll find a few more veins of that. Now, I have to decide what I'm going to, because I am going to grab that coal at some point. But I figure most likely what I'm going to do is think about what I'm going to replace it with before I actually grab it and take it down. Now, I was hoping to have another wing here, but we've got this to worry about. And I don't think, I don't think that's going to work out very well. But maybe I could widen this area right here and just come up a little bit. And I could have it this way. Now, of course, that means replacing the dirt with some stone, but I've got plenty of that at the moment. Let's see, 1, 2. I'd like to make these 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the reason for 5 is I figure that would be, so I could have double chests and a space in between them because of the separator they needed, and then another double chest. I figured that would be a nice way of handling stuff there. And all sorts of things. Alright, so that's what we do on that matter. So I will get that a little bit deeper between episodes, but you get the idea what the plan there is. Alright. That's it. Now, how is the light doing? I don't want to... It is dark! That's what it is. Well, dusk at least. Right? Yeah, okay, yeah, it's dusk. Alright, let's hit the hay and get back to it. Now, actually, what I did want to do is actually go and show you down to the mine and maybe do a little bit of mining down there. Who knows? Maybe I'll actually find my first diamonds here. But the idea here is I'm going to have some chests here. So let's say we got maybe... probably have a row of chests up here, and then have a little windy here. In other words, not an obvious way to get through, and this will lead to the stairs, sort of make it hard to see that there is actually a way here. Now, this up here is an area I've been working on a bit, but it does lead to an extensive cave of mobs all over the place that are a bit of a challenge to get to. Here's another area where another cave I found, and the mobs there were also a bit of a challenge, and they were skeletons, all that shooting at me and all that fun stuff. I think, yeah. So this is where I wound up. I think this is where I'm going to start my main. Oh, see here. Ooh, sure. Well, obviously I have been in here because we've got the torches here. And maybe I could get this lapis because I really don't have too much of this stuff. Lapis is not the easiest stuff to get at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe it wasn't the best idea. Okay. Alright. Good. Didn't get killed while I was doing it. Yeah, for now, I'll just block that up again so I won't run into anything nasty. But what I was thinking of is going down here and seeing if I can... I think we're at diamond level here. Yeah, 13. So we might have a chance to actually finding something. I know, not much of one, but we'll see. But this is the first actual linked area doing, so normally I'd think just mining here is enough, but let's see if we get anything. And well, that's typical. Every time I go just a little bit, I run to another cave of some sort. Yeah, well, let's see. But this place is riddled with caves. And that has been my... Ooh, redstone! Redstone. Oh, that's my first... Alright. I didn't find my first diamonds, but I did find my first redstone. That means I can get myself a... That's it? Alright. My first redstone. That means I should be able to get myself a clock. I like having a clock. And of course, I wanted that compass because I told you what I was planning in order to determine where to... Actually, with that, found... Ooh. And iron. Iron is still a very important thing to get. Been short on iron quite a bit all the way through here. I guess that's not unusual in the early game. Oh, this is a nice vein. Ooh, and more of it. And even more iron. And we'll just throw a torch right here to make sure I stay lit. Oh, something is... Ooh, well, okay. Yeah, I've got an overabundance of eggs as it is, so I don't need to. If I lose 5 eggs, it's not going to be a big deal. Alright, so now... Oh. Oh, that's right, because I came in through a narrow entryway. Then I got... Yeah, up here. Yep. Alright, see? I tried doing a little strip area, and instead I wound up finding myself a bit of a... Instead I found myself getting into another cave, and... Well, at least I got redstone, and that is an important commodity to get. Maybe not as important as diamond, but pretty close on the matter. Alright. Ah, okay, good. And don't worry, this isn't all the food I've got. I've got 2 stacks of pumpkin pies, so I'm not getting ready to starve at the moment. But lapis, I think I put lapis in here. Yeah, I put lapis in here. Good. And what I wanted to do... Oh. Well, I've only got 6 gold. Well, not efficient, but I might as well do that. And I also have iron. Ooh. Let's see. Iron. Ooh. Well, that will be done efficiently. Right. What I want to do is to get a compass. And if I remember right, we got this here plus 1 piece of redstone. And put this in here. Okay, so now let's go and see where the compass points. Pointing this way, I guess that should be no surprise. Now it's pointing this way. Okay. Sounds like somewhere around here. Alright, this is pointing... Actually, this point right here. This point right here. I think we found it. And this point. Alright, so this is the official center point. Right here. So that's our spawn point. And so therefore we started pretty close to it. So therefore what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, move it over here. And actually I guess that's logical because here... Ooh. Because the tower we built... Ah! I was thinking of a tower, you know, of putting a silo here, but the silo is going to go right next to this. So therefore, instead of this being a necessary... Because I was wondering how I'll do against the rain and put all this up here, but if this entrance is connected up to here, whatever tower that is, that would be good. So therefore... It's not going to be a silo. It's going to be something else. I have to think on that between episodes. But I was worried about a silo. Oh. I was worried about a silo being so close to here, but I think whatever I put here and then down to here might actually work better. Maybe a granary or something like that. Something that one could conceivably store things on a farm. Well, how are things going? Well, it is getting near dark, and I think it's time to wrap up. So far, I think everything is working out well with the chickens. I've got plenty of pumpkins. Nice set of chickens. I'm getting eggs. Now, I'm still a little bit... I still need to get better on my sugar production so that I can have enough pumpkin pies. But you see, I already have 2 full stacks, so it's not like I'm in desperate need at the moment. I got a good set of potatoes. Soon I'll start to have wheat. And that this is just going to be the private garden, as I said, of the Brenine. And down over here, we've got this expanse all over here where I'm going to put the main farms and where the village houses are and the like, so that this could look like that is a full-fledged farming community. Well then, it looks like I have some work in deciding on what I'm going to be there, and next time we'll actually build whatever structure I make the foundation for there. And maybe come up with a nice layout and exact position for the Bernice house. But that will be in our next episode when we return to Bretopia.